All right, cyber traders, welcome on back this Tuesday. Again, not Monday, but Tuesday, of course, with yesterday being Martin Luther King Day. We were off, but great to be back, at least here January 16th, shortly after 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Great to see Grant, one of our longtime students here inside our main chat board. But how about everybody else? Just give me a quick chat back if you could hear me loud and clear. I'll tell you what, after Traders Talk, a lot of us, rightfully so, ended up, kind of dipping away. I mean, we teach it in class. You really shouldn't be proactively here and like really hunting aggressively for trades heading into the early afternoon. So great to see Brian, Michael, Kathleen, Bill, Roger, Phil. Great to see all of us otherwise, and Asim and any of our new members joining us otherwise here. Long day on the stick and refilled up on water. We should be good to go. Actually, quick housekeeping note to begin. All of us inside our live trading room. We got Rich for the afternoon, so he'll be tagging in for myself at 3 o'clock. He's actually normally done the afternoon, but I've come back actually over the last couple of months here since for the 3 p.m. session. Just going to be jumping on a coaching call just at 3 o'clock, and Rich will be here for all of us otherwise. So with that said, if you had missed out earlier, because again, we teach it like, normally after Traders Talk, after like 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning, you step away, take a, bit of a step back. Yeah, if you want to be here, perfect. I mean, that's what, we're here for, myself and Rich, and, even Fausto could be in and out at times too. But this was a really interesting move that ended up happening just out of nowhere midday. Rich called out the drop, the halt. And when it drops off this much, that obviously some sort of news had to have come out. So I was actually on a call with one of our students finishing up. I was like running behind. I was like, you know what? Like, I got to check the news with you here. And I even just went right on my cell phone. I beat Rich to it at the time. So Spirit Airlines, they ended up having their deal with JetBlue, basically rejected by a federal judge. And with that, JetBlue, I thought ended up making a nice little positive reaction from it all. But I was more focused on save. Just normally don't see such a big drop. This was down over 60% at one point earlier this afternoon. So I was looking for a bounce, and really just to kind of give you the skinny on what I was looking for at first, this stock was at all-time lows from COVID time back there. I mean, it was literally at the low, maybe 2 pennies away. So I was looking for a break lower in the sense of maybe at $5, we can get a good support level, good clean bounce from there. I wish I could tell you that I took this bounce at first here as it moved back up. I didn't. But at that point, hey, I thought there was a chance that we'd see a pullback. So with it being easy to borrow on my platform, it was a great short afterwards. So it bounced up and, from 750, 760, I was calling that out pretty quickly. I just found it like pretty sharply from Bookmap, and I wanted to type it in pretty quick. But by the time I got in, small size, but it just started to pull back very fast. Well, even at that point, it ended up bouncing from like 660-ish, 670. I wanted 640. So I said, all right, just take a little profit, get out. And then from there, the more it fails to make that lower low, you know what's more likely to happen over time. I didn't jump back in long, but I closed out short, took some money afterwards, and decent trade. But yeah, at this point now, I mean, I'm going to put this on our watch list just because. I mean, it's just down a lot. It's within our price range, has a good order book. I would respect the lower high. I would respect the higher lows, higher highs here for the time being. $8, big resistance level that we had from earlier in the afternoon. And if we just go to level 4 here pretty quick, you got something even there now at 785 blocking it. So, maybe over time, if this ends up breaking lower here, this could be a pretty good short once again. Michael says, on top of what I had mentioned here, the court's decision, right? The decision also raises doubts about the recently proposed deal between Alaska Air Group, ALK, and Hawaiian Holdings, which I will take a look at those stocks, Mike, right now. We were focused on Save, we were focused on JetBlue, which, hey, positive reaction up nearly 6% right now. So, I'm going to put those two on our watch list just out the gate. And then we'll check out Mike's ALK, down 3%. Had a little spike up and down off the news, but, not really not tradable. It is tradable. It doesn't offer as much opportunity, I think, compared to JetBlue and Spirit. Hawaiian could, though. I mean, this is a wacky one, isn't it? I mean, with unfortunately everything that happened just, over the last year with Maui and, the situation that happened there. Then there was a big pop. Was it proposed buyout? Was that the buy, the rumor sell, the news deal that we had back in the beginning of December? Let me just double check the news out on this here. I forgot what happened exactly. Oh, so that was the Alaskan Airlines Group the transaction, Mike, right? Okay. So it was Alaska. It bought it for $18 per share in cash, $1.9 billion deal. And then from there, a big drop. And then, you know what? I like the JetBlue. I like the Spirit in terms of volatility. Hawaiian's not a bad one, but I feel like after it already retraced back up, I'm not as certain of it like really making a good move for this afternoon now coming up. Maybe by the end of this meeting, I'll come back to Hawaiian here, HA. All right. So we got two. And actually, I'll tell you what, we're probably going to have three here. I normally don't like following these stocks that are like below a dollar, especially if they're much lower and further away from the $1 threshold. So, this cheapie here, Fun, PHUN, is up big today. It's up like 357%. All right. Well, I'm going to toss it to all of our students here. It's not to ask what does Fun do, but what's going on with PHUN for any of our longtime students of CTU. We've traded the stock in the past. So, why are we trading it today? Why did we call it out just before? It wasn't on our main watch list because, again, we don't like really trade these, penny stocks, nicknamed. John says more buyers and sellers. Any of our longtime students, like Michael was there back then, Grant, Leda, Lawrence, perhaps rejoining us. I know he's, I think I'm coming off a little knee thing going on, right? Well, this stock is affiliated with Trump Funware, and this was with DWAC. This is the Trump Digital World Acquisition Company. But back when DWAC popped, well, it was PHUN also that ended up making a pretty historic run. This was back in 2021 there, big spike up. Now, I think that they've had reverse splits since. So it didn't exactly go up to $25 on the nose or 23 on the nose. I think there was one reverse split since that time. But, hey, whether you like them or dislike them, whether you're into politics or don't like politics, I personally stay away from it all. It's just to say, experience prevails when it comes to trading it. So with Trump winning the caucus last night in Iowa, had a nice pop on DWAC. Now, that doesn't lead me to just jump to trade this stock. Why? Look at the spread. It's terrible. Trust me, this is not going to get better over time. I guarantee you that. If you were to trust me on anything, it would be that. This spread's going to remain big on this stock. So that is where I think a lot of traders are jumping more towards this PHUN. Although right now, I mean, it's like up 2 or 300+%, up definitely a lot more than the DWAC trade. I'm going to put this on our list because it's at least tradable. Has a penny spread at least. It's making some pops and then some shakes back down throughout the day, but it's maintained really higher lows across the afternoon. So, I'm not going to really put this on our watch list each and every day going forward, but more coming off what happened overnight. There's a big win for Trump in terms of like the margin of victory. So you're getting a big reaction out of these trades. You got to respect that. And, just this one here is just untradeable looking at the spread. If this was any better, I'd put this one on our list like number one. This could be a good swing over time if you think about it, or whether you are a fan of Trump or not. Just if you see a good opportunity after this pop, that's something to think about on a swing perspective. I think there's warrants too for the DWAC. I'm not really too jumpy about warrants in general. So listen, to me, I'm going to go with PHUN. It's one of the three. There was another one that eventually got delisted. I think it was CVFI, CFVI, but that one got delisted over the last couple of years. So that's all. All right. So what we'll do is go from top to bottom now. Pardon me there. We'll see what we could add to our watch list. Dat Chat. So that's another social media platform company, actually. I don't know if Trump backs this one up as much, but it's like, maybe in some sort of affiliation with DWAC, because I know Trump has like the Truth Social thing going on. Dat Chat is another like social media type of platform. So I didn't even realize, like, I forgot dat DATS was dat chat, and it's actually my ignorance playing off until right now. So, I missed out personally on this move. I know we had called it out. I know Rich had called this out after the morning had finished up. Popped during traders talk, topped off right around $4. But yeah, now at this point, making lower highs, not looking as good as the other trade. HMST as we just kind of continue going through now. This actually made a hell of a run up since like 12 o'clock noon from 1380, 14 up to nearly 16, nearly 2 point move there. Just again, the order book is so skimpy and thin. I'm not a fan of that. So that one, pass. You got a bunch of these cheapy stocks now. Whether I don't think any of these are affiliated going forward with Trump. I think it's just because once you got this cheapy up 300%, you're going to get a couple others that could be short squeezes over time. MARK is one of them. Uh, VXRT vaccine company pumped earlier. It looks like I didn't really even see that until now. We don't really call out those stocks below $1. That's the issue. So unless if there's an actual rhyme and reason that myself or Fausto would find worth, it's like I'd rather keep it around like $5, $10, $20, $30, like somewhere around there. Ooh, Rum as in Rumble, I think, right? Rumble, I forgot about that as well. Another social media, platform company, kind of like a YouTube competitor where, video sharing, but a little pop before, but not really a whole lot to it here right now at this point. GRWG, I think a pot stock. I know one of us called out Tilray earlier today. That stock is such a tease at times. It's tradable, but it's just such a tease where you expect the big pop and run that we had back in 2018. Just for anyone new here, just to show this run, that was even in 21. Let's go to 18. Yeah, this move here. This was a real move that we caught off Tilray's IPO back in 2018, pot stock back then. And if you were with us back then, it's like ever since you wanted to see the stock make a pretty good move and run. On a day trade, it's been good to us here and there, but right now, I mean, it's hard to pass up on it as a day trade because hey, it's at the highs. It's cheap. It's good order book. I don't mind putting it on our list for now. I like the airline trades more. I like the funware trade more. All right, let's see if there's anything else looking good here across the gainers side. Hey, market, this is all while the markets are at the lows right now, right? I mean, I just saw UVXY up over 7%. So, just until recent markets were dropping off pretty steadily. Don't tell that to AMD. AMD just kind of blasted right out the gates this morning like a bat out of hell, like, between this and NVIDIA. But AMD's up over 7% now. It was up nearly 8% earlier today. So, really strong trade on AMD going back up. It's going to be hard to ignore a stock like that, at least there. I'll add that kind of to the back end of our list, AMD. If UVXY was moving up better at this time of the day right now, or like breaking a new high, or just looking sharper, I'd probably add that there. But for right now, I'll pass. Ooh, nice little trade on this SMMT. There was actually a lot more on the gainer side here, just as I kind of went through. So this SMMT, I mean, not a bad move. I mean, certainly a higher high compared to back what we had back in May, June time last year. It's been a great swing trade, seemingly. But as far as a day trade, up over 9% at the highs. I'd be interested in seeing if this could, at least get a little faster of a move here heading into the close. All right. So we got a good list already. We got 6 stocks, I think, to begin from the gainer side. Check over, see if there's anything looking good from the loser side here. ALLK took a 2-cent hit on this earlier today. It's like a tiny dinky hit because it was down so much that you wanted to see a good dead cat bounce, and it was after 10:30, so it was kind of as it was pulling back here, seeing if there was a case to see support build. It took a long time, but it just failed, and it's going to happen if it's not going to make that pop again. So no business holding on to a trade like that. Weight Watchers, Weight Watchers taking a huge hit Not at all-time lows. I mean, technically it could be a good short, more of like a level one type of, short. You know what? I don't mind adding it. We don't really have like a yet. We're kind of working our way there, but I don't mind adding Weight Watchers for right now. Shortable on my platform at the lows. APLD. This is kind of a stinker here. I'm going to pass on that. You got boiled down big, but not really doing a whole lot here since the early morning session, if anything. All right. So, hey, I think that's pretty much just about it here. I mean, really, the crypto stocks I stayed away from. If you joined us early on in Traders Talk today, I told you, I mean, it took a little while for me to get my like gears kind of going, get my feet grounded on Mara this morning. But it's actually been a great short off of Friday's closing price, that 1898 level, that yellow line that you see up top there. That's easy to say in hindsight, right? I mean, I wasn't looking for that short, just to say, hey, that big level certainly created a cleaner resistance, a clean touch, and then it came back down. Uh, I don't really have much business with the crypto stocks right now. Coinbase, Mara. Actually, Coinbase doing a hell of a lot better than Mara today, percentage wise. At least Coinbase is positive right now. Mara is down over 7 or nearly 7%. Mike saying ALT down 10%. Just up until recent, it was breaking, new lows, and there is a case for that to try and continue, right? Looking at the daily chart, for as much as this ran up back in the beginning of December, heading into this year, taking a bit of a breather and pull back today. For right now, kind of keep this on our side list for right now, Mike. Not a bad trade and tradable, but and I'll root you on if you're already in it. That's the thing too. Like, I'm not rooting against you. Just right now, unless if there's more so something that's actually just like on the way up or like breaking a new low in our face right now, I'm gonna just kind of keep it to what we got. DWAC trying to break a new high. Again, my feelings on this stock. I like the move. I hate the order book. So, if you want to do this as a potential swing, that's one thing. If you want to look at the option order book and that's more liquid, that's, even better. But don't try and do this on 1,000 shares. You're trading this on like a 20-cent spread, 25-cent spread. You're going to kill yourself. So, and I don't want you to do that. So that's where I say I'm going to put this on our list under those conditions. I like the fund trade a lot more, my friends. So keep that in mind. Both are going to move pretty much together. And then from Franny, of course, just the DWAC popping right there. So there we go. I just caught that chat right now, Franny. And great to see you, by the way, joining us on YouTube. One of our students, normally inside our live trading room. Appreciate joining us there, Franny. And, of course, to all of us otherwise on YouTube, Facebook Live, etc., just all of us on social media at Cyber Trading U. Be a friend, tell a friend. Look to spread the good word of Cyber Trading University. In fact, Fausto has a couple of big events lined up this week, just tomorrow coming up. He's actually going to be at NASDAQ headquarters, big event streaming on NASDAQ Trade Talks with their host, Jill Malandrino. So I know that we're going to post the link for that just over time inside our live trading room for that. So Franny, look to join us there tomorrow, actually, if you're looking to get that link for Fausto. But on top of that, Rich, if you could do me a quick favor there and post the Well 365 link inside the live trading room too, just as we're wrapping up. Well 365 started this week, big multi-speaker conference throughout this entire week, and Fausto will be on Thursday for that at 10 a.m. So definitely look to register just right there at the link that Rich will post coming up, and just make sure that you get access to that. Not just Fausto, all the other educators out there. I know Rob Hoffman, Tom Sosnoff, John Seville, just a whole litany of different traders out there. All right. All right. And hey, if you're on social media, wanted to join us inside our live trading room, just scan that QR code on the top left of the stream just to get yourself access to a week-long trial just to us inside our live trading room. But for Michael, Grant, Chris, John, and all of us otherwise, Rich will be on at 3 o'clock. Again, I'm going to jump on a coaching call with one of our students here coming up at 3. And then, hey, I'll be in the chat board, obviously, all the way through. But you got Rich coming up on the mic at 3 p.m. All right, folks, talk to you all soon.